Welcome back. A new battleground stock today is DoorDash. Jefferies downgraded the shares to hold from buy on valuation concerns, although they upped their price target to $250 from $235. Loop Capital also raised its price target and also from $235 all the way up to $305, writing that Dash is poised to capture the majority of a, quote, massive long-term opportunity to empower local commerce. Dash shares are down about 3% today on a 41% year-to-date gain. And Loop Capital's Rob Sanderson joins us now. Rob, it's great to have you. And this has been a much quieter outperformer than Uber, but what a huge run it's been on.
Yeah, it's been I think for good reason. There's a lot of really interesting things happening for the company. I think there's still a lot of upside ahead for the stock.
Okay, so how much and why? So, for instance, those of us who use it more than we'd like to admit, it's become my go-to way to get groceries. We've talked about this before. But I always say, I got to figure out a way to get off of this thing. And maybe I just can't. Maybe that's what they have on me.
Yeah, I think they have that on a lot of people, including all of my children. Yeah, no, it's a very sticky application. People clearly value convenience. It solves a lot of use cases. And, I think it's important to step back and recognize, like, this company's mission is not just about food delivery. That is the obvious vertical to start in, with restaurants being such a high frequency use case. Like, we eat 3 times a day. So naturally a high frequency use case. It's a very big, aggregate spend, about $1 trillion in the US a year. And but that's just the launch pad. I think that they really are on a mission to empower all types of local businesses and local cities, GDP growth across the board of all the regions that they serve. So it's a long journey, and they're executing wonderfully in the early innings.
I use it much more these days for grocery delivery, for drugstore, that sort of thing, which is not what I originally thought of it as. So from that point of view, how does it stack up against competition, ranging from Instacart to Uber Eats? Again, that's maybe a little bit more on the restaurant side, but if they're doing this well, people are going to be coming after this space.
Oh, sure. Yeah, and absolutely. There's no question. Instacart is clearly the market leader, with in terms of gross transaction value. They really focus on the weekly shop, really big baskets, replacing your weekly trip to the store, where DoorDash is coming in with a little bit more of that top-up use case, something that's just, I guess, easier starting point for them. But I think it's important to recognize that, as well as Instacart has done, the market's still very early in its evolution, and the number of frequent users on that platform is still a fraction of what it is on DoorDash. So they're coming in from different angles. It's a very big TAM in groceries. But again, the mission of DoorDash is not just restaurants and groceries and drugstores. It's local commerce of all types, including services. So I think it's really interesting to see what they're doing with their acquisition roadmap, acquiring a pretty robust CRM and database. They're clearly building a software, an enterprise software stack that can empower all kinds of local businesses. And I think services that are not dependent on delivery are a big piece of the future for this company as well.